Thank you, Sean. You've done some wonderful things for the museum. I have a very special privilege tonight. The Talmud says that a person may not be jealous of two people. One is his child and the other is his student. And this evening, I have the wonderful pleasure of presenting an award to not only my student, but my student who has become the teacher of my children. And consequently, I have the extraordinary privilege of presenting an award to someone whom not only have I had the pleasure to teach, but I also see the fruits of her distinguished labor in the work that she's done with my children. I want to go off script for a moment and say a word of tribute to Samara Hutman, who has done an extraordinary job in the 2 years that she's been with the museum. I find it a privilege to work with Sam and to answer her calls, some of them anguished, some of them exalted, all of them serious and all of them showing a depth of commitment. And the other extraordinary thing that we have with Sam is to see not only her grow, but her enabling the institution to grow and to reach new heights. But let's go back to Staci. Staci is an educator at Milken Community High School. She is partnered, I would say, as the father of 2 Milken students and as one who gives the bulk of my income to Milken. That we should say, go Milken. Milken has also won the football game in an extraordinarily lopsided victory. And since we go through the anguish of volleyball on a daily basis, it's wonderful to see a clear-cut victory that doesn't come down to the last play or two. She has partnered with the museum to bring the Righteous Conversations project to Milken Community High School. A little bit of something about what the Righteous Persons Foundation, Righteous Conversation project is. The Righteous Conversation takes advantage of what this generation will be the last to experience. We're now at a transitional moment in Holocaust memory. We're at the moment in which this is the last generation to have the privilege of learning directly from survivors. After this, the most that we will have is we will be able to be witnesses to the witnesses, but not to have encountered them directly. And consequently, what the Righteous Conversation Project does is to send survivors into the schools of Los Angeles, some of the elite schools that had been a little bit resistant to Holocaust education, and give the students the opportunity to work with, learn from, interact with, on a daily basis, Holocaust survivors. And the results have been extraordinary, because Holocaust survivors are the moral giants of our generation, the moral teachers of students, and they also give students something that our students do not have, especially those at the elite schools of Los Angeles, which is a sense of gratitude for the privileges that they enjoy. Let me draw your attention now to a short piece highlighting this very unique and very special program, the Righteous Conversations Project at the Los Angeles Museum of the Holocaust. This program offers innovative workshops that begin with dialogue with survivors and conclude with the opportunities to reflect, but not only to reflect, but to create on those reflections, highlighting contemporary injustices and moral compositions. Through these creative projects, the Los Angeles Museum of the Holocaust is able to bring Holocaust survivor narratives and student reflections to audiences across the country. Ladies and gentlemen, pay attention to the video that you're about to see.
My mother and my father watched as he came out and went down the street to a police station and came back without me. And that was the last they heard of me or saw me.
It's amazing what they've created, and I don't think they even believe that they've done what they've done, because they've gone through such a personal transformation. When you hear a survivor speak, you then become a witness.
What happens with the Righteous Conversations Project is students, teenagers, get to meet people who've actually experienced historical events that they've read about and are very abstract to them. And it's very powerful.
I'm so sure that our film that we created will get out in the world and will make an impact. I mean, we submit it to many festivals, and I think that's a really great way of sharing it with our community. And I think it's important that we share with our community because it's a very impactful film. And when Dana sees it, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see when she sees it, how she reacts and what she thinks of it.
I've actually seen some of the end results when we were in the theater. And I feel I'm part of it, even though my picture may not be up there, or if it was strictly just what I've said. I feel that somebody really acknowledges me, somebody thinks that I've got something to offer.
The amazing part is just working with Kurt and hearing his story, because that's really what this program is all about.
There's something really unique about Righteous Conversations students. They represent a really strong, impassioned group. And one of the students in particular, he came to me and he said, I want to learn more about Armin, one of our Holocaust survivor mentors. I really want to write a piece about his story and about his narrative. And he wanted to delve deeper kind of into the emotion and understanding Armin, not only as an elder, but as a friend, as someone in our community that he connected with. So he called him on the phone and spent an hour talking to him further to develop his musical composition.
And I see the looks on the faces of the kids when we're sitting in those circles and they're sharing. The kids are in disbelief. And to me, it's amazing because they really are the last generation of students who will get to know Holocaust survivors one-on-one and in person, and really get to know and hear their stories in an authentic way. That is something that my children won't have the opportunity to do. This partnership has meant so much to me personally, and working with the museum has been a really life-changing experience. There is so much to learn, and there is so much within these walls that students and anyone can benefit from. It's really a unique experience to come and visit here.
Our commemoration is not only thinking back on the past and thinking about the narratives of Holocaust survivors during the Holocaust, but also bringing that narrative forward and incorporating it into the narrative of young people in Los Angeles.
I think that when students leave the workshop and leave the Righteous Conversations Project, they don't actually leave it. They're finished with this one piece of it, but they will carry it with them forever.